Hello everyone, this is Magbo Gaming here, and today I wanted to do a little discussion on the supposed Nintendo Switch 2 that they're gonna be announcing it later this year, and it should be coming out sometime in 2025, probably the first half of 2025 is what I'm gonna assume it's gonna come up. And I want to do some predictions, and I want to hear what your predictions probably will be in the comment section below, so we could talk about it a little bit and see how this whole thing, because it's very fun to predict something that we don't know what it is. But I have somewhat of a good idea of two possibilities of what the Nintendo Switch 2 is all about. What am I holding a 3DS for? Well, we'll get to that right now. There is this possibility that people are saying around that the Switch 2 will be having not one screen, but the return of two screens. We don't know if that's a possibility. It could be an accessory that you can add a second screen. That way we could see Nintendo 3DS emulators being able to be supported on the Switch 2 and stuff. So this is a 3DS. This is the very first 3DS I ever got back in 2011. Still works to this day. Only the battery's not the best, but if we're gonna have a detachable second screen, and I think that if there's gonna be a second screen, it's gonna be detachable. You're gonna be able to slide the screen just like you do on the Switch Joy-Con, and then you could be able to play on one screen right here, this screen, like a regular Switch. And you can add Joy-Cons on it too, just like this one right here. That's what I think could happen. I mean, that could probably be a good idea. And you can sell that in separate of the second screen. The second screen shouldn't be mandatory. It's not going to be mandatory like it was on the 3DS. So it is going to be optional. But there are probably going to be some games out there that's going to require the second screen or makes it more easier. So I would think that some games for the Switch 2 could probably have an option. So if you play it on two screens, then you're gonna have some specific features or more convenience. If you play only one screen, then you could have some other benefits as well. Quality of life improvements and all that stuff. The screens are gonna be a little bit bigger than the 3DS. That's what I predict. Both screens, of course. So about the Joy-Cons, they're gonna most likely have upgraded Joy-Cons for the Switch 2, where they improve around the Joy-Con drift, and it's gonna be better than the original Joy-Con, so there won't be as much problems with Joy-Con drifts going in the future. It's gonna be a more rare occurrence out there. So but the Switch 1 Joy-Cons are gonna be compatible with Switch 2s, of course, so it's gonna have this sync mechanism in some ways where you could detach and reattach the Joy-Cons and everything. I mean, third parties are already making Joy-Cons of their own. I don't know how good of a quality they are, but it is what it is. So there is that option. So let's get back to the two screens. So Switch 2 very likely are going to have two screens, but they're going to be detachable. You could be able to play Switch 1 games. They're going to be backward compatible with the Switch 2, of course. Of course, we're going to have, oh yeah, look at my reflection right here, by the way. That's pretty cool, right? So we're gonna have two screens, both detachable, be backward compatible completely with the Nintendo Switch cartridges, of course. Switch 2 is still gonna have cartridges, that's what I predict as well. If you have a second screen, this is definitely gonna be a little bit smaller than the original Switch. I call it right now. Maybe a little bit bigger than the Switch Lite, but smaller than the regular Switch. But I could be wrong. It could be bigger as well. It could be that second possibility that I haven't mentioned yet. There could be an option for the bigger screens, and there could be an option for the little screens as well. As for the second screen, there could be a console bundle where they have both screens detached, and then you can put it all together, and then they work as one. Both screens are gonna be touchscreens, by the way. So the possibilities of new innovations on these two screens together is gonna be quite unique. Because I have yet to hear a cell phone besides like the folding screen where both screens are actually touchscreens. No 3DSs or DS ever had both screens being touchscreens, always the bottom screen. But of course we know that if they're gonna bring back the second screen, it's gonna be two screens being touchscreens. And they're gonna have another option as well, where if you detach both screens, you could literally be able to play two-player games easily with other players wirelessly. And you don't need to have a second copy of the game as well, because the main screen, which is this Switch for example, will have the cartridge in there, but then it's going to transfer all the signals from this switch to the second screen, and then you'll be able to play with that as well. Just like when you could detach the Joy-Cons on the first switch, and you could play 2 players Mario Kart and stuff like that, and it's actually possible to do something like that, but with the screens. So I would say that, and I think hopefully it will be VR compatible in some ways, but Nintendo's gonna have a little twist on it. They're gonna try to make it more affordable. It obviously is gonna be separate from the original packaging. 2 packaging will be one with just one screen, the main Switch 2, and the second one will be with both screens. It's gonna be a little bit more. I would believe that the one with one screen will probably be $300 or $350, and the one with 2 screen will probably be another $50 more, or maybe another $100 more. It all depends. Because let's be honest, screen technology is not super cheap, depending on what technology you used on it. But yeah, based on what I say, what you guys think they could do with the Switch 2? What do you think it could be? Because honestly, if they're gonna bring back the feel of the 3DS in some way, shape, or form, they should bring back the second screen. But of course, like, another thing I need to mention for the second screen is that it's gonna have Wii U support as well. Wii U emulator supports. What I mean by that is that you could put the first screen on the TV and then use the second screen like a Wii U gamepad. And that right there, that idea that I just put right there in you guys, I don't think not a lot of people has talked about it. But what it's gonna do is gonna make Switch, Wii U, and 3DS completely compatible with each other. And all the games they want to put on there. On Nintendo Switch Online, they can add 3DS Online. They can add Wii U Switch Online or Wii Online. Because of course we already got the Wii stuff with these Joy-Cons. But you cannot use Wii U games. You cannot play Wii U games properly on the Switch. You cannot play 3DS games properly on the Switch. So what's the next best thing? Bring the second screen and make it do what a Wii U and a 3DS does. And if I'm right in this prediction, then I should pat myself in the back, I guess. What you guys think of this idea of... Because if they do want to keep the costs more or less the same, just have a bundle that just has one screen. Or the second possibility, like I was going to mention, but I'm going to get to it right now, is that it just becomes another Switch, but more powerful. And of course, regardless, it's going to be more powerful than the Switch 1. It's going to be as powerful as PS4 or PS4 Pro at least. But it's still going to be weaker than a PS5, of course. Because I don't think that they have the technology to put a super powerful graphics chip. But then again, Steam Deck, I don't know. Steam Deck is still weaker than PS5. But I would say that the Switch 2 should try to compete with Steam Deck in some ways. And the ROG Ally in some ways as well. Because those two are just going to get more advanced as years passes by, and then the Switch is going to stay stagnant. So at least become as powerful as PS4 Pro and Steam Deck. That's what I predict is going to be the Switch 2 in terms of performance. And Nintendo, please have at least 1 terabyte or 500 gigabytes of storage in this thing. Because with only 32 gigabytes of internal storage, that's pretty outdated today. At least have 250 to 500 gigabytes of storage inside the Switch 2 and you'll be golden. Oh yeah, another thing I forgot to mention about what I think about the second screen for the Switch 2. It can have its own operating system, but what I think that they could do with it is that literally the first screen can charge itself and stuff like that, while the second screen can be able to receive signal from the first screen, and then you can still play all those games there wirelessly. But this feature, you need to have the Switch close by. There's no other ways to get around it unless you try to do remote play or Wi-Fi and stuff. I have a feeling that maybe it could do remote play, but knowing Nintendo, they're probably not going to have nothing to do with PC or anything like that. They're going to be their own thing. Let's be realistic here. But if Nintendo wanted to, they could actually have that thing connected to the PC so you could play it on the PC screen. But probably that's not going to happen. So, one last thing before I go that I think should be the case is that Nintendo, please bring back the customization feature of the themes. Please. From day one, bring that back. Let us customize our home screen to the way we want it. Because here you only have 2 choices, black and white, unless you mod the Switch, which is illegal in Nintendo's eyes, by the way, because the ninjas are going to go after you if you don't. It worked on the 3DS. The 3DS had a lot of themes on it and stuff like that. Matter of fact, I just threw it up so I can show you an example, even though this is a mod one. but have themes, honestly. And let us be able to message our friends that are in our friends list on the Nintendo directly. Come on, it's about time. Bring back usernames like you did with the Wii U. Oh yeah, bring back something related to Miiverse, but something brand new. A social media where you can connect to friends directly. Integrate Discord and some other stuff that could probably be used directly, just like the PS5. You could connect to Discord directly and be able to play with your friend with just one device. Yeah, because all this time we'd be using two devices, a phone and the Switch, in order to play with friends. It would be convenient. I want to see how the second screen can actually integrate you having be able to have the Discord on you and then able to play Switch games and Switch 2 games online that way. I mean, there's a lot you can do with the second screen that the 3DS and the Wii U has done before, but you could combine it all together into one at this point because those technologies are missing on the current Switch right now. So what you guys think about it? Yep, this is the theme. Bring back themes, please, Nintendo. Bring this freaking back. No, it's just black and white or anything like that. That's what I hope, and that's what I predict Nintendo should do. Themes, come on. In every other device, you could set themes. You could customize your home screen to any way you want. Do that. Come on, get with the times, man. But yeah, let's see what Nintendo does. Let's see if most of my predictions are right. But for the Switch 2, yeah, like having 3DS and Wii U optional features will be a plus. It shouldn't be obligated, because if you want to just play as a Switch 2 and just play it on the go or one screen, whatever, you could do that as well. Technology may be more expensive than the Switch is currently right now, but at least it's not obligated and they could buy the cheaper option later on if they wanted to. So that's all I have to say. What you guys think of my predictions. I hope that some of them makes a lot of sense, because it does make a lot of sense to me, honestly. Comment below your thoughts. Like this video if you enjoy it. And I hope that you continue with your hunt, find the games that you're looking for. Share this video with everyone you know. And until next time, guys, good luck with the hunt. And let's hope for the best for the Switch 2, so it won't disappoint. Nintendo, get this right. And obviously, I think you're taking your time because you want to make sure there's plenty of awesome games at launch. And that's what you got to do. That's why take your time with the regular Switch. And then when you're ready to announce it, just like Game Freak taking their time, their next Pokemon game, 10th gen. Yeah, you get the idea. Take your time. When it comes out, it'll be worth the wait. That's all I have to say. Until next time, Magbo Gaming out. Bye-bye. If you enjoyed this video, check out my other related videos here as well. I also have a Discord server you can join for the video game collecting community, and an Instagram you can follow as well. I even got some merch you may want to check out, my TeePublic link below. Hope to see you again soon.